Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So far in the Selenium journey, we have learned how to open browsers, how to locate elements, how to interact with the web elements such as inputs, buttons and links, and how to read values using getText, getAttribute methods. Now today we are going to learn two very underrated but extremely important methods, that is getClass and getTagName. These methods don't click anything, they don't enter text, but they help you understand what Selenium is actually working with. So why these methods matter? Many beginners think Selenium is just about clicking and typing, but real automation engineers must also understand what object am I working with, what browser is actually running, what type of HTML element is this. That's exactly what today's method help us answer. So let us start with the first method, that is getClass method. So getClass is not a Selenium method. Listen carefully, this is not a Selenium method. It comes from Java's object class. Every object in Java has a getClass method, and WebDriver is also an object. So let us create a class here in IDE. So I will simply give a name, specific name. So getClass, getTagName. Okay, so just to be getTagName text. Make this camel case. I will quickly add a main method. We'll create a WebDriver instance. WebDriver driver is equal to new ChromeDriver. Again, I want to use a ChromeDriver, that is a Chrome browser, then I will use ChromeDriver here. Okay, and now we can write driver dot getClass. getClass. Okay, so let's try to add it in the print statement. So we want to print this and then okay, and then try to run this class. So it will open a browser, but it will not navigate to any URL because we haven't used get method or navigate method and we haven't passed any URL. So now you see driver.getClass. This will return you the runtime class of the object. Now the object is of a class ChromeDriver, right? So that's why it is returning you the runtime class of the object. And this is the import statement, the complete import statement you see on top. The complete path of the particular class, right? That is org.openqa.selenium.chrome.chromeDriver. Okay, so what is class is actually created in a memory, this will return. Okay, so now again this output looks ugly, right? So if you want to print a specific class only, then what you can do is you can simply pass here dot getSimpleName. So it will only print you the ChromeDriver. Okay, so let's try to run it as well. So it has opened a browser here. And then you see it has printed ChromeDriver only. So if you are using Edge driver, let's try that as well, Edge driver. So just select this. Okay, it will automatically import that particular class. And now in this case, it will return Edge driver. So even though we declare the variable as WebDriver here, the actual object created is ChromeDriver, because WebDriver is an interface and its methods are implemented by these classes, that is Edge driver, Chrome driver, Firefox driver, right? So this is a runtime polymorphism, and this is very important for interviews. So it has launched the Edge browser. Again, it will not navigate to any URL. It will simply print Edge driver here. You see, it has printed Edge driver. So what's the use of Git class in real world, right? In the real frameworks. So in the real frameworks, we run tests on Chrome, Edge, Firefox, and the other browsers such as Electron or Safari browser, right? So we choose browser dynamically. So using this getClass method, we can log which browser is running. We can print browser info in reports. We can debug cross-browser issues, right? So that's the use of getClass method. So now let's move to the second method, that is getTagName. So getTagName method belongs to a web element, and it tells us what HTML tag this element is. So let's open a browser and let's see any element. Okay, I will try to go in this element. Let's inspect this principal amount. Okay, so okay, let me select it better. Okay, now you see there is an ID and name. Okay, I will go with the ID here. Okay, let me close these browsers first because we haven't used driver.quit. So always better to use driver.quit, otherwise you will end up multiple instances. Okay, so what we will do is we will get tag name. Okay, so this is the method we are looking for now. So what I will do, I will try to find out first. I will add a URL. So let me pass a URL to this get method so that it will open a browser and the URL. Okay, and now I will try to find the element. So driver.find element. So by.id, and then we'll pass the ID. So let's import this by class. Okay, so here I will use this principal. Okay, let's do that and go with the principal. Okay, so now I'm able to locate the element with this ID. Okay, so let's try to store that particular element in a web element. So if you hover over this find element method, the return type is org.openqa.selenium.webElement. Okay, so this is a value of web element type. So let's store that web element here, web element and al element. Okay, so just import this web element class, and then what we can do is we can use system.out.println, system.out.println, and then what we can do is we can just use this method element.getTagName. So it will return a tag name for this particular element. So now if you see here, the tag name is input, so it should print an input tag. Okay, the tag name should be input for this print statement. So let's try to run it and then see whether that is a input or any other tag. Now it will open the browser as well. First it will before opening it, it will print this getSimpleName, and after that it will navigate to this particular URL. You see it has opened the browser. It will navigate to the URL. It has navigated. Okay, so the execution is complete. Now you see the input tag name is printed correctly because our element is having input tag, right? So let's try to do that for some other element. Let's say, Okay, let's do this with the login button. Let's select inspect this login, and then we'll have a button attribute, button tag, and then ID is attribute. So we'll use this here. So let's try to find out this ID. So driver dot find element by dot ID, and then pass this particular ID. And again, or maybe you can simply print this in a print line statement. Okay, so do this system dot out dot print line, and then we will add this, and directly we can call the method that is getTagName. Okay, and then it should print button now. Okay, let's try to run this. Okay, so it has, the compilation has finished. Let's open an Edge browser. Navigating to the URL. Yeah, done. So now you see, for the second print statement, it has printed button because our element has a button type, button tag, right? So that's why it is printing button. So why is this method useful? So sometimes in real projects, same locator matches multiple elements. Sometimes the UI is dynamic, and sometimes tags change from button to, let's say, anchor tag. So using getTagName, we can validate correct element type. We can add a conditional logic, and we can debug the locator issues. So today we learned getClass method and getTag method. So getClass help us understand the browser driver. getTagName help us understand HTML element. So these methods improve debugging, improve framework quality. It improves interview confidence. Okay, so again, interviewer might ask you such kind of question: what is getClass? What is tag name? So these methods don't interact with UI, but they help you understand Selenium deeply. So if this explanation helped you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your Selenium learning group. In the next lecture, we will move deeper into element state and behavior validation. Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and I will see you in the next class.